As a developer, Terminal is one of the most powerful tools you'll probably be using. But the default terminal that you get on your systems, especially with Mac, is a bit ugly, and there are quite a lot of plugins and stuff that you need to install to be able to make use of it properly. So in this video, what I will do is show you the essential plugins and tools that you should have on your terminal, and I'll also show you some fancy stuff that you can have with it as well. To begin with, what we're going to do is we're going to actually throw away our terminal. We're not going to use this terminal. We're going to install a brand new terminal. It's called iTerm2. If you want to install it, you can just visit the website and then just bring that up. Okay, so it's iTerm2.com. You can go to the website, you can check out the different features that iTerm2 will actually give you, and there's loads of different things like split panes, hotkey windows, all kinds of stuff that you don't really get with the terminal itself. So it's pretty handy to use iTerm2. A lot of people are using it. To install it's pretty simple. Just go to downloads and download it. It shouldn't take long depending on how long your internet is. I'm just gonna go there, and I've already downloaded it. So if you go to your downloads folder, if I can find mine, which is you should already have it downloaded. Just move it into your applications directory, and from the applications directory you should be able to launch iTerm. Okay, so we've got iTerm installed. Now what we want to do is give it some oomph. There are a couple of things that you can do. You can install themes, you can install all kinds of plugins just to make life a lot easier. What I'm going to do is start off by installing something called OhMyZsh. So if you go to OhMyZsh, OhMyZsh, sorry, that is the website. You can read about all the different things that you can do with it, but for now I'm going to quickly install it. So if you click on the install button, you can install it in two different ways. You can either use curl or you can use wget. So I'm just going to use curl, and then in my iTerm2 terminal, paste that curl command in, hit enter, and that should install OhMyZsh. Okay, so with OhMyZsh you actually get a configuration file that you can edit, and you can add in different things like plugins and themes. If you want to view what the configuration file looks like, you can type or open, if you or any sort of text editor really, ZSHRC, and that will open up your configuration file, and you can have a look at what's in the configuration file. So the different things like themes, you can have things like case sensitive. There's a section for plugins, which is what I'm going to walk through next. We're going to install a couple of different plugins. So there's loads of different things you can actually do in this configuration file. What we are actually going to do is we are going to install a nice theme that a lot of people are using. So the default theme that you get with OhMyZsh is called Robbie Russell, named by the person who actually created OhMyZsh, Robbie Russell. But if you want to take a look at all the different themes that are available, you can go to the GitHub website for themes and have a look at all the different themes that are there. Robbie Russell, of course, is the default one that you just saw me using. There's all kinds of one. And what we're going to do is we're going to install something called Power Level 10K, which is a popular theme that a lot of people use. So if you go to the GitHub site, which is Power Level 10K OhMyZsh, you can find installation instructions. So for example, we want to install it in our OhMyZsh. So all I need to do is copy this, paste it in, and what this actually did is it cloned the Git repository for the Power Level 10K, and it put it in our themes folder directory for OhMyZsh. What you do need to do is, after you've done this, is edit your configuration file for OhMyZsh and change the theme. So Power Level 10K, and because it did actually put it in a directory, I'm just going to put it in a directory myself. Save that. I'm gonna shut this down just so I don't have to edit it again. And then what you do need to do is restart your terminal. So once you've restarted your terminal, it should look like this. Now, first time installation always gives you these prompts where you can actually go through and configure your theme. So it will go through default stuff like checking that you're able to view icons and images. You can do things like ASCII characters. You can change how your git commit looks. So quite a lot of things that you can actually do. You can have a full read of the documentation about all of this on the Power Level 10K GitHub site. For now, I'm going to skip all of these because I've already got these configured. What I actually did was I just paused it and I just went through the installation itself. And some of the things that the installation actually does is it changes your ZSHRC file, so it puts stuff in there for you. It also generates this .p10k.zsh file in your root directory, which has the configurations for p10k. If you wanted to reinstall Power Level 10k, you could actually run a command. So you could run this command and that will restart the installation for you. But we're not going to do that. As you can see that I've installed my ZS theme now, and I'll just clear that. And you can see I've got things like icons, I've got chevrons to show where I am, so it's showing I'm currently in my home directory. And if I do something like an ls, you can see I'm in my home directory as well. Okay, so now what we want to do is start with installing some plugins. There are a couple of plugins that I do want to install, which I think by default everyone should have. The first one is called Auto Suggestions, and as the name suggests it's auto suggestions. So as you're typing, it will suggest what you're trying to type, and then you can just hit your arrow keys and complete it. So if you want to have a look at what auto suggestions do, that is the site for it. ZSH users, ZSH auto suggestions. We are just going to go straight away and install it. So to install it, what you need to do is copy the GitHub directory into your plugins directory. So that's what it's doing. It's cloning the GitHub directory into your plugins directory as so. So we will install it. Okay. And then what we need to do is we need to let ZSHRC know that we have added a new plugin. So what we want to do is edit that ZSHRC file .zshrc. I forgot the dot there. Okay, so I showed you this before. There is a plugin section, if I can find it, which is here. And what we want to do is we just want to put in ZSH suggestions. That's the name. Yeah. Okay, so once we've saved that, if we restart our terminal, okay, so we've restarted our terminal, and you can see if I start typing something like make directory, you can see this is a command that I've run before, so it's coming up with that. If I type in L, you can see it's come up with ls, so I can auto-complete that as well. It's a really handy tool to have. Next one, what we want to do install is something called syntax highlighting. So again, what we will do is go to their repo, so ZSH syntax highlighting, and I'll read on the documentation. We're going to do a similar process with this, so we'll do a git clone again, ZSH syntax highlighting, put it into our plugins directory, but this time we're going to do something slightly different. We're actually going to change into the directory of where that plugin was installed. So that's the directory. And if you have a look, we've got syntax highlighting, and what we actually want to do is we want to put something into a ZSHRC file, which will enable syntax highlighting. So if you don't already have the command, this will be in my notes. You can just copy this command over, enter, And if we open our ZSHRC file again, it should have shoved that somewhere in ZSH auto. No, it's not auto, sorry. Okay, so it's actually stuck it here in at the bottom, so you can see syntax highlighting is there now. So if I close this down now and then restart once again, okay, I understand there's quite a lot of restarting, but this is hopefully the last time we do it. Okay. And now if we start typing something, so let's do make directory tools, you can see syntax highlighting. So you can see make directory is one color, tools is another color. Let's do something fancy, so let's do a couple of stuff to see if everything's working correctly. So if I do a maybe make directory projects, okay. Projects already exist. Okay, let's go into projects. We'll do our tools directory. Let's do something else, an example. And you can see we go into our example directory. Maybe we can do something like a git init. You can see that's initialized. Let's add a file. So let's do a touch.gitignore. Let's push that in or commit that. So we'll do an initial commit. Oh yeah, we forgot to add the file. So let's add the file, git commit, and you can see we've got things like syntax highlighting, we've got icons to show where we are, so loads of fancy stuff. There's loads of things you can actually do with iTerm2 and OhMyZsh, so check out the documentation, and I hope you enjoyed this video.